All right, Brenda, thanks so much for that. Now, Tuesday's protests have drawn varied reactions, including from the presidency, who appear to be speaking from different scripts. The differences between President William Ruto's speech today and that of his deputy, Ruto and Gachagua, further highlighting the divisions between them and their ability to communicate in crises. Take a listen.
In times of crisis, the people look to their leaders to provide hope, direction, and to rally them behind a common cause. The protests that saw fire set to Parliament and City Hall on Tuesday provided a moment in history for the presidency to give the nation hope, direction, and a sense of unity. But for the William Ruto presidency, it provided a study in contrasts. The president and his deputy speaking in two distinct voices, one from State House Nairobi and the other from the deputy president's residence in Mombasa. It was evident right from the onset that the two were not speaking from the same script.
When I assumed office 20 months ago, our country was facing tremendous economic challenges, escalating cost of essential household commodities, high fuel prices, rapid depreciation of the Kenya shilling, and spiraling public debt were threatening to ground our economy.
While the president went on the defensive, his deputy chose a different approach, one that struck a chord.
I'm deeply heartbroken following the loss of lives of our children, security officers, and other Kenyans across the country in yesterday's protests across the country. As a parent, I feel the deep pain of their loss. No parent should have to bury their child, especially in such circumstances. I cry for our children. I am unable to bear the pain. My children, Kevin and Keith, are of the same Generation Z.
In contrast, it wasn't until the president was in the 11th minute of the national address he delivered on Wednesday, the second following the protests, that he made any mention of the bloodshed.
On my own behalf, and on behalf of these members and many other Kenyans, I send my condolences to the families of those who lost their loved ones in this very unfortunate manner.
In fact, in the speech he delivered on Thursday, the president lauded the police for their actions despite widespread condemnation for their lethal use of force.
I thank our security officers who were on duty today for applying themselves to the best of their abilities in the defense of Kenya and its people. Accordingly, I have directed all the organs of our national security to deploy measures to thwart any attempt by dangerous criminals to undermine the security and stability of our country. I hereby put on notice the planners, financiers, orchestrators, and abettors of violence and anarchy that the security infrastructure established to protect our republic and its sovereignty will be deployed to secure the country and restore normalcy.
President and I gave a categorical promise to the people of Kenya that the issue of abductions and extrajudicial killings will never happen again. Sadly, this is back. It is unbelievable that the son of the Honorable Attorney General of Kenya, Justin Bidan Muturi, was abducted at night in a commando style by officers of the National Intelligence Service and held incommunicado for 18 hours. Yet, that is the Honorable Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya. What will happen to other Kenyans?
And while the president denied extrajudicial killings and abductions, his deputy cautioned the police against abusing their powers to serve political interests.
There is not one incident of extrajudicial killing. What you said about abduction are statements that were attributed to some of our civil society groups, but all the people they mentioned have since been found in police custody, and those that were already processed were already released.
Yesterday, Nurdin Haji was trying to put up a team together to craft lies and propaganda and attribute the chaos that were in the country to leaders, I included, former President Uhuru Kenyatta and others. Yet it is very clear, and the President has admitted, that these protests were caused by the anger of the people of Kenya and their refusal of Finance Bill 2024.
Calling on the Gen Z to call off the protests planned for Thursday and to forgive the MPs who voted for the finance bill, turning a deaf ear to their constituents' cries.
As Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya and a patriotic son of this country, I want to appeal to Generation Z to call off the protests for tomorrow.
Olive Burrows, Citizen TV.